chest, chest, 1, 2. Check, 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 check.
Huh? What? What's the problem?
Right? Yeah, like, so it's positioned so everybody.
So, I'm getting a little worried about He's always depressed.
How are you? But you were there, everything okay? You were able to do what you know, what you did?
We're going to be able to share your life with what they're doing right now.
He goes right. That goes straight up.
Happy shows news right now.
Well, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm a soldier as well.
You are.
Yeah, I'm observed. I was actually unobserved. All right, man.
I didn't know that.
Hook us up. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not going out there. No, we got to say. That's 5 episodes. They got to say. They always get
No, they're not. Because Boo's in the garage. That was with one. Yeah. We already checked them. Like, we legit checked like all the places where like farmers raised.
You know where North is? Is that the 42? Is that 42? It's actually called the Omnitrix Auto.
So it had Castro is like he's with admin. What?
Yes. 50. We have 50. I gotta go over there.
Where? Go over where? Bro, can I go over there? It looks like I got.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, we got.
that concludes the culinary demonstrations until we have the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, Jason Cafferty. In about 10 minutes, we'll be doing a live demo of the seafood torpedo. Once again, the Master will be doing a live demo of the culinary demonstrations. Those of you just joined us, welcome before you begin culinary training exercise. Approximately 200 competitors. Each day, 2 to 3 teams will hit competition. They are the United States Navy and they are, ladies and gentlemen, military chefs all over the world. And this is new tables. Team Fort Bliss, Stewart, Go. A table from the and a table from Team France. Two with an easy win. Challenge and the international. All right, next up, our first police check independence, what is this for? Station 1 and 2, Station 1 is for Carson, Colorado. Station 2 is for KMO, Kentucky, America. Again, 4, 5, 6, Hawaii. And Station 6. is on the Air Nutrition Team 8. On 9. And
Up here. Hello, ma'am. Well, good. How you doing?
so,
Fantastic.
Is
that what these tickets are for?
Yeah, no lunch. That's yeah. What time that starts? They should start at 11:30. Yeah, man. We've been here
Turning and burning.
grinding away.
How long are you guys doing this for?
I've been doing this for 13 years.
How long do you come up to these competitions for? Like,
This
I
is
know you
once
guys,
a year.
you guys went up to Yorktown for like 2 weeks prior, right?
Yeah, we finally got a little bit of training time. So we got 3 days in Yorktown to kind of prep for this. The team doesn't meet. Nobody knows who anybody is. Scott Jeffries and I write all the categories, write all the menus, and everything, put all the packets together, travel arrangements for when there's fighting. I'm out. Yeah, there's a lot of coordinating to get things on the ground here. We have to haul stuff down from VHS. We have to secure vehicles. People that aren't on before that are doing things around. Yeah, it's an undertaking. Yeah. We've been here since second. Everybody doing. We're doing this, and then I leave on Saturday to go to LALB to do the stand. Nice. And commissioning. I finally get to go home sometime after that. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, still on the board, still a contender. So, oh man, she's been great. She's been 70 years. She got a bronze in that, and then she did gold medal, gold bronze, and now she's on the FKT doing the It's good to see you. Yeah, you too. So you are where now? Oh, okay. I've been working for Mr. Prater. Nice, yeah. And old Hudson Webb.
Yeah, we don't really, I mean, they're up in DC.
Yeah.
We work for Mr. Winston.
Okay.
He's the program, our product line manager for us. So,
Asher Chief down there.
Asher Rivers, yeah. Team Chief Asher.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Gotta be. Makes it a lot easier. Yep. What I do. Learned a lot. Got a lot of good information. A lot of that taking things up there. Not resting. 6 days. Yeah. Yeah. Even. We're on, man.
Check. Good to go. All right. Hey, I want to say thanks everybody for coming over and watching. I'll tell you, this is a bit surreal for me. I never thought in a million years I'd be standing here in a demo kitchen. You know, I just came up as a shipboard cook. I love cooking, and just continue to look for opportunities to grow in my career. And eventually I got pulled up to be a Command Master Chief, and then got pulled up to be the Pac Fleet Command Master Chief, and then Master Chief Petros to the Coast Guard. So just honored to be here with you today and to have an opportunity to show off a little San Francisco style chipino. When I was out in San Francisco as the pack fleet master chief, I used to go to restaurants and get this, and I loved it, and I thought it was fantastic. So I started playing around with it, trying to make it myself, and here we are. So thank you for joining us. I got a special guest, Captain Kovac. Thank you for joining us today, and my friend here, this is Master Chief Justin Reed. Justin is the culinary specialist rating force Master Chief. So he's a senior culinary specialist in the Coast Guard, and he takes care of the rating. And I really want to say thanks. I'm also fortunate to have my wife Amy here with me, and my communications director, Chief O'Leary. So thank you all for joining us today. We're gonna talk a little bit about what we're making. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the Coast Guard, the Coast Guard Culinary Program, and just some things going on. We'll also be able to answer some questions for you. If you want to ask some questions, please don't be shy about interjecting or asking questions, because we want to hear what's on your mind. So to get this dish started, this is a tomato-based kind of a seafood dish, and we want to start building our layers of flavor. So I got the heat on medium, not medium heat, medium low, and I just want to saute these onions. I kind of preheated the pan here, and I don't want to put a lot of color on these onions. I just want to kind of melt them. I want to saute the onions just so they're soft and translucent. I'm not trying to get them crispy or anything. And then after we do that, we'll add our garlic. You want to cook your onions down a little bit before you add your garlic. I want to also give a quick shout out. I want to thank my Marine Corps friends. So all the work that we did here today, we've been prepping over there, and we've had a lot of help from our Marine Corps students to be, and I want to say thanks to those guys for their help. So we only have an hour, and so Justin's gonna help me a little bit, and Dave Master Chief Reed is Justin to me. So we're sauteing our onions, and you got to give this. You don't want to hurry this. You want to let this. You want to let this go. And while we're sauteing the onions, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we've got. I've got Chief Grillmeyer, Eric Grillmeyer. Chief Grillmeyer is from our recruiting office in Richmond. He's come over today. And if you have questions about the Coast Guard, or you think you're interested in the Coast Guard, Chief Grillmeyer here he's got the fancy blue badge there. He can answer any questions for you about the Coast Guard. In the Coast Guard, it's a great place to cook. Eric, I know we need all kinds of coasties, but I'm a little partial to cook, so I'm going to tell you the Coast Guard is a great place to cook. And if you think you might like to cook, we have a lot of availability. We could use you. So onions are starting to soften up a little bit. And we have some recipes over there. If you're interested in how to make this, we have some recipes available for you. So we're softening up the onions, and we are going to add our garlic. So that was about 2 onions. So we put about 2 onions in there. And this is about, I don't know, 8 cloves of garlic. My rule with garlic is when you think you got enough garlic, add a little bit more. I've never heard anybody complain that something was too garlicky. So while I'm doing this, Master Chief Reed's going to start sauteing the seafood up. And as you know, seafood, it doesn't all cook the same. Some seafood just takes a very short period of time to cook, and other seafood, you want to give it a little bit more time. So he's going to get the seafood going for us so we can add it all at the same time. That's something you want to plan for. When you're cooking seafood, you definitely want to take a couple minutes and set it out in the I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to go with this next seafood, this. So that way you get it all done, and you don't have the seafood can tend to get tough if you overcook it. And garlic, as we're sauteing our garlic, remember with your garlic, you don't want to brown your garlic. You want your garlic to stay nice and clear. Garlic can tend to get a little bit bitter if you brown it too much. We've got some shallots here. We're going to add some shallots. This is about 2 shallots. So we're building our layers of flavor. We're really trying to. We've got onions, garlic, and shallots all going here, and this is really gonna give us a deep flavor here. Turn the heat up just a little bit. Okay. If you turn the heat up, as long as you're going to tend it, you can cook it a little bit hotter. Now, if you got to go do something else, you want to keep the heat low, so that way you don't burn anything. But if you're going to stand here and kind of tend it like I am, because I got a great guy standing next to me doing all the hard work. So the Coast Guard Culinary Specialist School is in California. It's not here with the rest of the schools. Ours is out in California. It's in a really neat place called Petaluma. It's out in it's in wine country. It's a beautiful place to learn how to cook. There's a big Culinary Institute of America school out there in Greystone and Napa that's pretty awesome too. So we have our culinary school is kind of an operational culinary school. You're actually cooking for the students at the rest of the training center. So you're learning on the job, and you're getting the live experience there. It's pretty impressive. But I leave that to the experts. Okay, so our onions, our garlic, and our shallots are all softening up nicely, and we're trying to just kind of almost melt them. That's what we want to do. We almost want to melt these onions. Right. We are live streaming today. We are on several live stream accounts, and we're thankful for everybody that's tuning in live stream. Thanks for that. Glad to have you. So we got a little time, so it's a good idea sometimes for your fresh herbs, if you want to kind of just put a toast on your herbs. You kind of toast them up. It really brings out the flavor. All right. We're looking good. So now, just to give a little more flavor to it, we've got a little jalapeno. So we're going to add a little jalapeno. This is the California part of this dish that's coming out. We're going to add some jalapeno. Now I've taken the seeds and the ribs out of this jalapeno. I'm not trying to make it a super spicy dish. I just want to add some of that good jalapeno flavor and just a little bit of heat. Thank you. So we're going to saute our jalapeno up. You know, I make this dish every year for Christmas Eve. So we make this dish, and then we invite some friends over. And the reason we do this is because it comes out kind of red and green. It looks Christmassy. And it's delicious, and it's not too filling. This is our Christmas Eve dish. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add our liquid. We're going to add our tomatoes. We've got some canned stewed tomatoes here. These are good quality canned stewed tomatoes. They have these are charred, aren't they? These are fire roasted. See, I especially want to thank Ray and all the crew here at Fort Lee. They have just given us everything we needed. They can get me ingredients that I couldn't even get myself. So I want to thank them, especially thank you, Sergeant. You guys are amazing. Just a tremendous support here. And we have some we do have co-sees that come to Fort Lee, even though this isn't our primary culinary training school. We come here to get some advanced training. So we enjoy our relationship. We got Chief Reeves that works here at the schoolhouse. We're thankful for that opportunity. So I can smell the jalapenos and the onions and the garlic. They're all going good, and the fire roasted tomatoes. And this is looking like Christmas right now. This is looking really good. A lot of flavor being built up in here. I'm going to add a little white wine to this. I don't need to reduce the wine that much. Sometimes I could have added the white wine before I added the tomatoes, but in this case it doesn't play a big difference. Doesn't make a big difference. If I was trying to reduce the wine, if I really wanted to make an effort to reduce the wine, I would have added it before the tomatoes. Not really necessary in this dish. We just add the wine for the flavor. Right. We're going to let this cook down a little bit. I've got some bread. I sliced some bread up over here. This is going to be so flavorful. This is going to be so good that you're just going to want to take that bread and soak it up. And so we like to serve some bread with this to help you get every little bit of the juice out. I'm going to add so this is lobster stock, lobster fumet. Is that right? Am I saying that right? So this is lobster fumet. This is pretty special stuff here. We're going to add this. Oh man, that's really good. That is really nice. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. All right. Now, I brought a little bit more than I probably need. We're gonna let this cook down a little bit. I'm probably gonna add one more. Now, what Master Chief Reed's doing is he's adding a little sear to these the reason he's doing that is we want the seafood to stay intact. If I was to just put the seafood all in here and start cooking it, the seafood would tend to break apart. And then next thing you know, you've got like scallop, pulled scallops in here as opposed to, the whole scallops. So we're cooking this so we can set it apart and it doesn't just fall apart in the dish. So if you cooked it in the liquid, you'd be braising it and it would come apart more than you probably want. So this is, this dish, you can make this anywhere. You can make this on the ship. You can make this in a field kit. You can make this pretty much anywhere. It's not hard to make. It's got a few ingredients, but not a lot. If you keep the seafood kind of separate and keep it warm, you can kind of serve it as people come through. It's not something that, it's going to get, the quality is going to go down if you have to wait on it a little bit. It's hot on the stove. Looking good. So I'm going to turn the heat up on this and reduce this down a little bit. Okay. I'll bring this up to a simmer. So on this bread, what I'm going to do with the bread is when Master Chief Reed gets done sauteing the seafood, we'll put that cast iron skillet up here, and then we'll toast we'll put a little toast on the bread, and then what I like to do is I like to take some garlic, just cut it in half, and just rub it on the bread. It's amazing. You wouldn't think it would impart that much flavor, but man, it's the best garlic bread you ever had. Really good. Salt and pepper. A little salt and pepper here. Start with a little bit, and then we can always add more. Can't take it out, so keep that in mind. When you're making this, you can always add more, but you can't take it out. So, we've got a couple bay leaves here. Get up to temperature. We're going to add these bay leaves in. I want you to help me remember to remember to take them out before we serve. Bay leaves here. All right. So while we're cooking, we in the Coast Guard we really value our culinary specialists, and we have a lot of programs for them. And if anybody is interested in becoming a Coast Guard culinary specialist, we actually have some bonuses that we're paying right now. And if you have some experience, if you're in Justin in ProStart, is that what we're working with ProStart to help them out? And I think the recruiting command, the Coast Guard recruiting command, is helping with that. Mr. Poplar, it's good to see you, sir. I had the pleasure of having lunch on Mr. Poplar's ship the other day. It was fantastic. So if you're interested, we are hiring cooks. We need culinary specialists in the Coast Guard, and we're willing to pay. We have some bonus money that we can offer folks, and we are actively recruiting culinary specialists. And if you know somebody that might be interested, or you're interested, Chief Ruhlmeyer is around, and there's some literature, some brochures about Coast Guard. If you have experience, if you have culinary experience, a culinary degree, or advanced culinary training, it's how much? What's the bonus, Justin? 30,000, 30,000, and 40,000 for an associate's degree. So that's a good chunk of money to come into the Coast Guard. We would love to have you. We are hiring. That's public service. This guy with the good hair over here, the blonde guy over there, he's our recruiter. He's a recruiter in charge at the recruiting office. Right. So Master Chief Reed is we've got some red snapper, really high quality fish. I tell you, Fort Lee, they don't spare any expense. They really go out of their way to take care of you. And they gave us some really excellent quality red snapper. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook this off a little bit. We're going to cut it up and strips so we can serve that. So we're looking. I don't know if you can see this, but we're coming up to a simmer here. We're going to bring this up to temp. Now I have some fresh basil here. We're going to add some fresh basil, some cilantro, and some parsley. We're going to actually finish it with the parsley. We're going to hit the parsley at the very end. Let's see here, the tasting spoon. Get the food. See where we're at. See how we're looking. As you can see, it's pretty. You get a high quality meal that's low. We don't have a lot of fat in this. It's very healthy. It's got great flavor, and it's easy to serve. It keeps for a while, and I think this is a dish that we could serve in a lot of our dining facilities. That'll work. This will work. Thank you, my friend. All right. I leave that to the pros. I wouldn't be good at that. Hey, that is good. Really good. Probably needs a little bit more salt and pepper. Not a lot. Okay. It's amazing. I'm going to add a little bit of this thyme. We've got some thyme that we toasted off here. Now, thyme you can do a couple different ways. You can take the whole bunch of it and just drop it in, and then pull it out like we're going to do the bay leaves, and that'll work. Or you can toast it off. And I'm going to make sure it's broken up very fine here. I don't want you to get We'll get the stems out. And, oh, thanks. Okay. Anybody got any questions about what we're doing, about the Coast Guard? Any questions about anything? I tell you, I work alongside Sergeant Major Daly, the Sergeant Major Green, the Sergeant Major Marine Corps. He's my neighbor, and then the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, who has the house on the other side of him, and we're very close and we work together very well. Chief Wright, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, is also a good friend, and we're working hard to understand the challenges and opportunities for our military members and identify trends and make sure that you have what you need. And we're always constantly looking to improve your quality of life and make sure that you're ready to get the mission done. And I just want to say it's an honor to work alongside those guys, and they value their culinary specialists as well. So we're going to add these fresh herbs right at the end, and they add a ton of flavor. So we got a lot of flavor going on in this right now. We got this. So we got this on a pretty good boil right now, and we're going to reduce this down. It's smelling good. But these herbs, these fresh herbs that we're going to add at the end, this basil and cilantro, they've got a lot of flavor, and they're going to really help it right at the end. So this dish, I think you're just going to be super impressed with how flavorful this is. In just a short period of time. You just started this 20 minutes ago. So let's throw that cast iron up there when you get a chance to toast that bread. Or what are you about to do now? Yeah. Sure. Okay. So a couple ways to do the bread. We could just, if we had a broiler on this, and I don't think we do, but if we had a broiler, we could throw this under the broiler and kind of do it all at once. But we don't have that, so we're gonna. I've buttered this bread. We use clarified butter, so the clarified butter doesn't burn. It's also a lot better for you, and that's where all the flavor is. So we've got this. We're gonna heat this up. Tongs here. Okay. Am I missing anything? Doing all right? And I just want to say thank you to all that are joining us today. Thanks. This is a real treat for us. I came up. I joined the Coast Guard. I didn't intend to be a cook when I joined. I wanted to drive boats. I thought, I want to join the Coast Guard, drive boats. And I started working in the kitchen a little bit alongside the other cooks, and I just loved it. It was really a great experience. So then I had some positive feedback from my shipmates that said, hey, you should go to cook school and be a cook. I thought, okay, I'll do that. And so went to cook school, and then my first unit out of cook school, I went to an isolated duty unit. Marines can appreciate this. I was on Iwo Jima, the island of Iwo Jima. And we had an 8th navigation station there. It was 26 guys on an island. It was crazy. I never thought I'd be there. But learned to cook a little bit there. You can make a few mistakes there and get away with it because what are they going to do? They can't go to McDonald's. There's nobody there. So anyway, so then I came back, went to Florida, did a unit in Florida, just kind of started working on my skills a little bit. And, about the time that I started getting good was about the time the TV Food Network came online and cooking started becoming really popular. I mean, there's a lot of movie star chefs out there, and so I started getting into it, and then just absolutely loved it. I went off to be an instructor at our Senior Enlisted Academy. So the Navy has all the services have a Senior Enlisted Academy. And I went out there to be an instructor at our Senior Enlisted Academy. And I made Master Chief there. I went there as the Senior Chief. I made Master Chief. And then I went to Hawaii. And I got picked up to be the Command Master Chief of our base. and Hawaii. And then when I did that, I liked it. It was fun, and you know, then I got a call from an admiral who asked me to come out and be his command master chief for the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of we call it with the Navy they call it a region. So the region master chief, and then I just kept going from there, and then liked what I was doing. Just had good bosses, and just kept moving up. But I had to leave cooking. That's true. I had to leave cooking. I missed the galley. I always loved the galley. But you know what? I'll tell you, every unit I ever went to, the first place I go is the galley. I always go see the cooks in the galley because that's where it's at. I might be a little bit biased. How are we doing on fans here? I don't want to smoke this out. It's smoking out pretty good. Trying to heat down a little bit. Okay. So I think I'm in a safe audience here, but I think cooks are the best leaders in the military, and I'll tell you why. When you're a cook, you have to be on your game all the time. If you make a mistake, everybody's going to see it. You can't hide from it, and you have to own your mistakes. So you have to have a good sense about you, and you really have to care. To be a good cook in the military, you have to care about people. You have to care about what you do. And good leaders care about their people. And I think that this helps you to become a good senior enlisted advisor. And dedicated, you're hardworking, you're leading a team. People and the cooks that are out here, they know, when people are having a bad day, where do they go? They go hang out in the kitchen and talk to the cooks because they know they can just share what's on their mind and take care of. Yeah. So I've always said that when I meet with the admirals, I say, you ought to look at cooks to be your senior enlisted advisor because they are really connected to the people. It's in our DNA. It's in our job to look out for people and to help people out. And this is what we do. And in the Coast Guard, I don't know about the other service, but in the Coast Guard, we have several command master chiefs that are cooks, and they do a fantastic job. I think they're the best, in my opinion. No offense, Eric. So Eric, IT, right? So Eric Rillmeyer, Chief Rillmeyer. He is an information technology specialist by trade. If Eric made a mistake on something, I probably wouldn't know other than my computer wasn't working, but I wouldn't know anything else. If I make a mistake here, everybody's going to know. And so you really have to, it creates a very different mindset. No offense, Eric, you'd be a great command master too. All right. So what I'm going to do after I toast this bread is I am going to I've got some garlic over there that I've cut in half, and I am going to rub the bread with the garlic, and I think that makes the best garlic bread. You could take some garlic powder and sprinkle some garlic powder on there if you wanted to. There's a lot you could do with that. But I think that the fresh garlic really goes a long way. I'm not over toasting the bread either. I'm not trying to make a crouton. I'm just trying to put a little toast on the outside of this so it holds the garlic. So our cioppino is simmering nicely here. Maybe a low boil on the cioppino just to help it reduce down a little bit. About finished with this bread. Right. Okay. All right. So we're looking good here. I have my garlic here. It is so I have clove garlic. It's cut in half. Pretty straightforward. I'm just going to rub the bread with the garlic, and you would be amazed at how effective that is at making good garlic bread. That really goes a long way. And I'm gonna get quite a few out of this clove. Okay. So if you had to do this for 400 people, you might not want to do this. But if you're not doing it for 400, then it's not too bad. If you're doing this at home, this is a good way to do it. Because they can't see the garlic on there. So people come and they go, man, this bread tastes like garlic, like really good garlic bread, but I don't see any garlic on it. So I'm going to set that one aside and go to a new one. Right. You can do a lot with this bread. You could, if you had some extra basil left over, you could throw a little basil on there. That would be good. You could throw a little grated Parmesan cheese on this bread. That would be really good. It's a lot you can do. This, I'm glad I don't have any more bread than this to do. This is a little more work. Not bad when it's just me and Amy, but this is a little more work. So, okay. So Master Chief Reed is going to start poaching the lobster in butter, which sounds like an absolutely delicious thing. Probably not much more finer in life than lobster poached in butter. So we have our seafood ingredients. I don't know if you saw them all, but we've got some shrimp, we've got lobster, we've got some Dungeness crab, we've got some scallops, we had some snapper, and I think that might be it. But you could do other things. We got some clams. We got some clams. You could do calamari if you want to do calamari. I recommend you add that at the very end. Calamari gets tough pretty quick, but you could do calamari. Okay, I think I got all the bread. One thing about doing this, you can't see the garlic. You don't know if you missed one, but that's okay. The oven's still warm, right? We'll keep this warm in the oven. Oh, it feels like keep that warm in the oven. All right. We're getting down to the almost there. So I'm going to taste this one more time. See how we're doing. Got a little lemon. We're gonna. Got it. Okay. So. All right, let's see how we're doing. Oh, that's good. That is good. I don't think it needs much. So when we get our herbs, when we get our fresh herbs in there at the end, and we get all the seafood in there. I can't wait. I can't wait for you to try it. It is going to be amazing. It's going to be so delicious. Yeah. So this guy and I have been friends a long time, and he works in the White House all the time. He's got a lot of experience, and I've always wanted to cook alongside of him, but I'm not in his caliber. I'm not in Justin's caliber, so I'm not, man. I tell you. But he's pretty amazing, and I'm super thrilled to be here with him today. That was the lobster. Got some Dungeness crab here. We're gonna warm up. All right. So in the Coast Guard, we often have culinary specialists that serve in what we call independent duty. These culinary specialists are all by themselves. They don't have a first class above them, or they don't have a chief. They're all on their own. They make the menus, they buy the food, they cook it, and oftentimes they also do the dishes. So it's a neat opportunity to kind of be your own boss, to kind of cook what you want to cook, make what you want to make, and use your own creativity and do things. That's a pretty cool thing. I did that. I actually worked. Where's Hodge? So I was in St. Louis. So Hodge here, he's from St. Louis, and he lived not far from where I worked on the rivers. So in the Coast Guard, we have river tenders. So we set the buoys in the rivers, and on these ships there's about, I don't know, between 12 to 15 people on the ship, and you're the cook. You're the culinary specialist on the ship, and we've got a grill in the back of the ship. It's just awesome. It's a neat opportunity and the ship's not doing this like they do at sea. On the river, it's really flat. It's the best place in the world to cook. It's really nice. So I gotta tell you, that was a fun job. Dungeness crab and a little bit of clarified butter. Probably my second most favorite thing. I'm gonna turn the heat down on this a little bit. Nice simmer on that. So good, I'm gonna taste it again. I haven't really added anything to it, I just want to taste it again. Okay. I love it. I love it. Man. But I'm pretty happy with the way I make this at home, but it's coming out even better. And I think that's because this guy's here, because we're here at Fort Lee, and we've got all these incredible ingredients that they give us here at Fort Lee. That is looking good. So this is where the next part of this is kind of where you get to, it's the difference between me and him in a big way is plating. Oftentimes the way you put the dish together is really, it has a lot to do with the way people taste it. You know, if I just be at my house, I'm just throwing it all in and then dishing it right out. Well, and that would be fine, but it wouldn't be the same as the way this guy is going to do it, the way we set it up and we present it. We're gonna serve it to you in this because it's economical and it's the easy thing to do. But even this, you could dress this up and make it nice. That's what we intend to do. Justin, I'm going to ask you to give me about a 3-minute count, so 3 minutes out, so I can put the fresh herbs in. So we're gonna cook off. We've got some clams. Yeah. Thank you. All right, so we have a little clarified butter in here, and we've got some white wine here, right? It's white wine. Some white wine, and looks like we're going to throw some garlic in there. How are we gonna do? We gonna set this up and like we're gonna lay it out. Here, let me do that. I can do this. Oh, I can do this. This is something I can do. So we're gonna lay out some bowls here. We're gonna set this up so we can give you all an opportunity to come taste this. You know, the last time I was in the galley really cooking was in 2006. Yeah, 2006. That was the last time I really was like cooking for a living. I mean, that's what I did. Now, because I love cooking, I do it all, I do it all the time. But I was a food. Are you a culinary specialist? So what did they call like? Do they have food service officer? Yeah. So I was a food service officer on the ship as a chief. I was a food service officer as a master chief too, but I didn't. But I had a big staff, and I really didn't. I just did paperwork. It wasn't very fun. But so the last time I really got it, got in and cooking, mixing it up, and so everything was in 2006. But when you love it, it stays with you, and pretty cool. So I saw a picture of Master Chief Smith on his Twitter feed, and he was in the galley on a ship. I don't know if you saw that, but so Mick Pond was in the galley, and I was like, no, that doesn't count. You can't just go in there one time, go on an apron, put a chef hat on, and act like you're. So when I see Mick Pond next time, I'm gonna tell him I got him beat. Mick Pond should come down here. Check this out next time. All right. Yeah. So whatever he says, I say yes. It's exactly what I want to do. So in the Navy, do you have a like a force master chief for culinary, like a senior, like a master chief that's in charge of all culinary? What's that? You do? Yeah, that's him. Gotta get those bay leaves out, right? Sorry. Yeah, almost forgot. Okay. So the bay leaves add good flavor. I used to not be a bay leaf kind of guy. I was like, do they really do anything? But they actually do. They do. They do impart good flavor. Got 3, 4. About 5? Yeah. 5. Okay. We'll go with 4, so we'll get an extra good flavor. Okay. I think we got him. We're in good shape. Okay, so what he's doing is the tomato chunks were a little bit big. And so to really get the flavor and get it spread out and get it something that's doesn't like fall off your spoon, we hit it with an immersion blender, and that smooths it out a little bit so you get the full flavor on every spoonful. You get that full bit of flavor. It's that little extra step. When I said, it matters how you plate it up. Like if I just do all, it would still taste good, but taking that little extra step of finishing it off, finishing the dish off, really goes a long way to adding the quality to your dish. It takes it to that next level. Right. So we've got our clams and our mussels. So on the clams, as you know, if one of them doesn't open up, you want to use that one. Clams aren't something you want to try to pry open after you cook them. Also, if you find one that's open before you cook it, you don't want to use that one either. Mussels aren't like that though, I think. Mussels are They are? Yeah. They're open. Okay. All right. We are looking good. Just going to let these finish off. Once they finish off, that's going to be kind of big in that bowl, but okay. Okay, we're gonna put the seafood into a bite-sized portion. Okay. Yeah. So always good to use some gloves. Even if your hands are really clean, I find that when you walk through and people are seeing you, it's a good idea. It's just a good idea. How are we looking? Can add anything? I, Once we add this, we get the seafood in. I think we're going to be in good shape. So I'm just cutting this lobster up. Lobster's very rich. You kind of don't want to get a big, even though it's delicious. You don't want to get a big giant bite of lobster, just because it's a lot. It's a lot, and a lot to process. So we want to cut that up into small enough pieces where you get a nice piece. Doesn't overwhelm you. Okay. As as predicted, this lobster is cooked perfectly. Got Justin doing it. Look at that claw. Isn't that beautiful? Kind of hate to cut the claw off. If you were gonna like set this out for like presentation dish, you might have taken that claw and just left it whole and kind of laid it out for presentation. That would have been nice. So yeah, this is culinary competitions are wonderful opportunity for everybody to show off some skills, kind of show everybody that in the military we can take it up as high as we want. Good quality. All right. I'm going to keep the lobster and the crab separate so we can make sure that everybody gets a little bit. The temptation might be mix it together, but then you can't be sure that everybody's going to get a little bit of everything. I'm going to keep that separate. Good. I wish I had another claw. All right. Oh, that'd be good. Oh yeah. So we're gonna finish the shrimp in the liquid because the shrimp, we know the shrimp's not going to break apart. The timing is perfect, so it's not going to get tough, and it'll add a little flavor to our broth at the same time. Okay. I've about got the lobster cut up. I got my Dungeness crab here. Okay. The Dungeness is going to go in as well. The Dungeness crab was already cooked, so you'd be hard pressed to buy raw crab. It just the crab goes bad pretty quick, and when you buy Dungeness crab, it's typically already cooked off. We didn't when we cleaned it out of the shell, it was already cooked. Now lobster was not cooked. We did have to cook the lobster off. All right, gonna add a little bit of this coming your way. All right, a little more lobster to cut up here. You know, when I met my wife, she didn't cook at all, and now I think she might be better than me. She's we've worked together so long, and I think she might have me beat. Justin is Master Chief Reed, rather sorry. Master Chief Reed is cutting the scallops up. So before this, the scallops have what they call a little foot on them. So you get a scallop, you want to look for a little tuft. It's like a little piece of tuft. You want to cut that off because otherwise you'll be chewing on it when you're trying to eat it. You don't want that. So the other thing we did too. So Master Chief Reed cut those scallops up into more bite-sized pieces. When you get it, you want everything to be able to kind of fit on a spoonful. You don't want to get something that's like hanging off your spoon and you got to balance it. Oh, it doesn't work out so good. Right. You know, I could talk to you all day about cooking in the Coast Guard, and that would be fun. But you know, if you really want to talk to people about cooking in the Coast Guard, we got a nice little team right here, a nice little group of folks that are also they're actually in the field right now doing it, and they're from all over the country, and they can give you a little bit of background on what it's like as well. Um, Thank you. I want to thank these guys. Thank you guys. I really do. I mean it. Thank you for your help. We couldn't do that. Thank you. So, Master Chief Reed's got the fish into bite-sized portions. Take a look at our. Oh yeah, it's looking good. It's all open here. Okay. Music to my ears. We're gonna throw the fresh herbs in. So this is our basil. This was a couple bunches of basil. Not a lot. Doesn't take a lot. We're not trying to turn this into an Italian dish. We're trying to turn this into a California style dish. And we're going to add some cilantro to go along with that. I got quite a bit of cilantro. Now we're just going to incorporate these fresh herbs into our dish here. You don't want to cook them too long. I want them to retain their color. I really, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is a beautiful. It's got a lot of color. It looks pretty. Oh man, this is going to be good. Gosh. Delicious, man. He's got high standards, let me tell you. You can make that guy happy. Anyway, so this is going to be really, really good. I think that's probably. Oh yeah. Very good. This is one of those dishes where if you wanted to, you could add some serranos and a couple more jalapenos. You could really kick up the heat on this thing. You could throw a Scotch bonnet in there or something. You could make this very spicy if you wanted to. And I find that when you make it really spicy like that, it's like making you sweat, but you can't stop eating it. It's so good. We're gonna. So we got a little parsley here. So we chopped some parsley really fine. So I don't want you to get a whole bunch of parsley. I just want the parsley for a little color. And we're gonna, we've got some lemon wedges here. And I think we're gonna, we're gonna finish it with a little bit of lemon juice just to add a little acidity. brighten the dish up a little bit. All right. Man. Yeah. This is what I'm talking. This is the part that he's really good at, and I'm still learning. Okay. So. Yeah, we just throw a little bit of lemon on top. You guys got that? Okay. All right. So what can I do? Okay. Okay. Yeah, please. You know, we did this in about an hour. It's got 4 or 5 types of seafood in it. It's got flavor, and we did it in about an hour. Didn't take too long. Gavin, thanks, buddy. All right. I never thought I'd have Marines as sous chefs either. It's pretty good. My lucky day. Army. Yes. Yep. He's. Right. Very, very thankful for my Marine Corps friends helping us out. Oh, very good. All right. Okay. Yeah. On behalf of Master Chief Reed and myself and all our friends that are here with the Coast Guard, we want to thank you for joining us today as we did this demo. It's a treat. I haven't had a chance to do this before. Yeah. Right. This, I think we're gonna try to take care of our civilian friends that joined us today. And the military do. What? Oh, you can come over and get some. Yeah. Grab a. So this fine looking guy right here with the outstanding haircut, he is our subsistence. He's kind of the head of this subsistence program, the culinary program. From a management standpoint, he's also a prior culinary specialist. Very proud of him, Chad Adams. Take a bow, Chad. Right, Chad Adams. Chad, Mr. Adams there, he was in the Army, and he came over and joined the Coast Guard after serving in the Army for a little while, and went to culinary specialist school in the Coast Guard. Was not in food service in the Army at all, and then in fact he had a pretty high profile job as a jumping out of helicopters or planes or something like that. So, we're in Lent right now, so this would be a great Lenten day. Friday, Fish Friday, right? It'd be perfect. Perfect meal for Fish Friday. This would be fantastic. We're very delicious. Yeah, it smells so good, doesn't it? Yeah. And it's pretty healthy. Fat. That? It's got a little bit of clarified butter in it. Clarified butter doesn't have as much fat as non-clarified butter. Okay, so I should have made more bread. My fault. But if you get a piece without bread, a bowl without bread, I apologize. But we'll just call that part low carb, right? It's our low carb variety, our low carb edition. There you go. Okay. How'd we do? Is it okay? Tastes okay? Oh, thank you. Good. That's what, and that's when you're, when you're in the culinary field, you got to go ask how you did, right? You got to go get that feedback. You got to say, hey, how'd we do? How can we do better next time? What would you change if you could change something? And that way we get better. We constantly get better. So I want to thank everybody for participating in the demo today. This was fantastic. And, we really appreciate the opportunity. And I just want you to say you could go as far as you want to go in the military as a culinary specialist. Culinary specialists are outstanding leaders. They take care of their people. And I encourage you all to reach as high as you can and go as far as you want to go. You're amazing. Hello to who? Hello, everybody. We're here at Fort Lee. We just finished up our cooking demo. We got a thumbs up from the audience, which means I guess we're doing good because we got a pretty distinguished audience here full of culinary specialists. So I think we're doing well. Hopefully we made some new friends, and the recruiting command is happy with me.